Good afternoon, or really good evening. Was reflecting on a discussion had with a young man that I respect very much. We were talking about how perception, how perception affects our decision making process. What this conversation reminded me of is it reminded me of when I was, say, much younger. I remember I wanted a car. I wanted one so badly. And because I wanted a car and I wanted one so badly, it had to be a Pontiac Firebird Trans Am. That was the only car that was suitable. I mean, I had to have it. Had the glitz, had the glamour, had the spark. It went fast. I remember this thing. It was like gold. It had this bright, shiny dash. The thing could go fast. Needless to say, when I ultimately ended up getting a LTD Crown Victoria, it's just a LTD at the time, and I was highly disappointed. Granted, I was in college and that kind of stuff, but that wasn't the car that I wanted. I wanted that Trans Am. Now, here's the kicker. In hindsight, I can see these things. The Trans Am may be shiny, fast, bright, also got a lot more tickets and many other things, less passenger space, less trunk space. The LTD, more storage space, more passenger space, more fuel efficient. Yeah, better ride, smoother ride. And here's the irony when you actually stand back, or when I stand back and look at the two of them more objectively. The Pontiac Trans Am, the vehicle is no longer in production. It's not made. It's been discontinued. The Crown Victoria, a version of it, still to this day is in production. What does that truthfully say about, in this case, my perceptions? What I wanted, which was a car, and the overall practicality, usefulness, and marketability of that vehicle. This is just one example of how my perceptions affected my decision making process. And I'll even take it a step further. Because I ended up getting, and I was mad at the time when I got it, my father did, but because I ended up getting that LTD, I believe that it was one of the contributing factors for my getting my first job in a professional corporate environment, because that vehicle said something about who necessarily I was perceived to be, right, wrong, or indifferent. My question is this: what and how does perception affect your decision making process? And are you even aware that it does? And then, two, how does that affect your concept of various things like innovation? What does innovation mean to you if your decision making is necessarily colored? Mine was. So let me see if I can connect the dots using me as an example. For me, that Trans Am was the end all be all. It was nice, shiny, seemed to do the job at the time. Granted, it's no longer made, no longer practical. And it was basically deemed not worth making any more of, but it was a car. True, it was a car. The LTD was a car. Yet one of them was sustainable, more practical, more useful. The other one was not. Here's the question: why? Just some food for thought. Look forward to hearing or reading your thoughts on this. Take care.